Scientists put a scent in a room. Nobody knew. Then something happened. Two groups of people walk into separate rooms. Both rooms have the same five objects on a table: strawberries, lemons, roses, a pumpkin, an eggplant. Each person gets paint and a canvas. They're asked to choose one object and paint it. The only difference between the two rooms: one has a faint strawberry scent in the air. The other has a faint rose scent. Neither group is told about the odor. Here's what happened. In the strawberry room, people overwhelmingly chose the strawberries and the lemons. They painted in warm yellows and pinks. In the rose room, people chose the white rose. They painted in cooler, lighter tones. In the room with no scent, no pattern, random choices, no consistency. An invisible signal in the air had silently redirected what people chose, how they perceived color, and what they created, without their knowledge, without their consent. This is not a philosophy experiment. This is a peer-reviewed study published in PLOS ONE in March 2026 by researchers at Tohoku University in Japan. And if you're an entrepreneur competing in a world dominated by AI, this study is not a footnote. It's a blueprint. What the researchers did. Let me walk you through what actually happened in that lab, because the details matter. The study ran two separate experiments. Both used strawberry and rose essential oils as the olfactory stimuli. In the first experiment, 24 painters were exposed to either a strawberry or rose odor. Then they were asked to paint their sensory and emotional response. They didn't know the odor was being studied. They were simply painting what they felt. The paintings told a consistent story. Strawberry odor, warmer, brighter, more emotionally positive artworks. Yellows, oranges, pinks. Rose odor, cooler, more complex, more emotionally nuanced paintings. Blues and greens. Then a separate group of 60 people evaluated these paintings. And another 60 rated the odors themselves, without seeing the paintings. The evaluations aligned almost perfectly. The emotional signature of the odor was mirrored in the emotional signature of the artwork it had inspired. And these weren't subtle effects. The statistical effect sizes were large across both dimensions measured. This wasn't a nudge. The odor fundamentally shaped the creative output. Now the second experiment. This one added a decision layer. 60 new participants. 3 rooms. Same 5 objects on the table in each room. Room 1, strawberry scent. Room 2, rose scent. Room 3, no scent at all. In the strawberry room, 95% of people chose either a strawberry or a lemon. In the rose room, 75% chose the white rose. In the no scent room, choices were distributed randomly across all 5 objects. The scent in the room was the dominant driver of what people chose to engage with creatively. And here's the part that should stop you cold. Most participants in the scented rooms didn't consciously notice the odor. What's happening in your brain? So why does this happen? The mechanism isn't mysterious once you understand how smell is wired into the brain. Every other sense, sight, hearing, touch, taste, sends information through a relay station called the thalamus before it reaches the emotional centers of the brain. Think of the thalamus as a customs officer. It decides what's important enough to reach conscious awareness. It filters, it screens, it regulates. Smell bypasses this filter entirely. Odor molecules travel directly from the olfactory bulb in the nose to the amygdala, the brain's emotional hub, and to the hippocampus, the memory center. No gatekeeper, no delay, no rational screening. This is why a smell can trigger a full emotional memory before you've had a chance to process what you just smelled. The emotion arrives first, the recognition comes second. In that study, when participants walked into the strawberry-scented room, the odor had already primed their emotional and associative systems. It was pulling them toward warmth, sweetness, familiarity, before they consciously saw a single object on the table. Their creative choices were downstream of a signal they never knowingly registered. Neuroscientists call this cross-modal correspondence. The brain links information across different senses automatically. Strawberry connects to warmth, sweetness, bright colors. Rose connects to coolness, complexity, floral associations. These correspondences aren't random. They're built through years of multisensory learning, and they operate automatically, below conscious awareness, every single time. What this means for your work. This study wasn't conducted in a business setting, but its implications are direct and actionable. Let me give you the three most powerful applications, and I'll point you to the full article for the other two. Application number one, design your creative workspace with intention. If a scent in a room can redirect what people choose to engage with and how they paint it, it can also redirect what problems they gravitate toward, what solutions feel appealing, and what ideas feel worth pursuing. The practical implication is this: treat the olfactory environment of your workspace as a design parameter, not an afterthought. A diffuser with a citrus or warm aromatic scent isn't interior decoration, it's a cognitive architecture decision. If your team needs to generate warm, associative, expansive ideas, lean towards sweet, fruity, familiar scents. If you need focused, analytical attention, cleaner, cooler aromatic profiles may be more appropriate. You already design your office lighting, your acoustic environment, your visual identity. You've never designed your olfactory environment. The science says you should. Application number two, build a personal olfactory anchor for your own creative states. This one is personal, and it may be the most powerful of all. The study shows that a specific scent can reliably induce a specific emotional and perceptual state. The mechanism is the same whether you're a research participant or a founder staring at a blank page. Here's what you do: choose one scent, just one. Use it exclusively in one context: your deep work sessions, your writing, your most important creative work. Use it consistently, every single time. Over weeks, something shifts. That scent becomes a cognitive switch. Your brain recognizes the signal. It knows what mode it needs to enter before you've consciously decided to start. This is not a wellness hack, it's applied conditioning, grounded in the same cross-modal associative learning the Tohoku study documents. The scent acquires its triggering power through repetition and emotional context. Application number three, apply it to your customer experience. The findings on object selection are directly relevant to any physical space you run: a store, a showroom, a restaurant, an event. Participants unconsciously chose objects that matched the scent in their environment. They weren't aware of it, but the data was unambiguous. The ambient scent in your space is already steering what your customers engage with, what feels appealing, and what they remember afterward. The question isn't, should we have a scent strategy? The question is, what is our scent doing right now? And is it aligned with what we want people to feel and choose? For the other two applications, how to use scent in workshops and brainstorms, and how to turn olfactory strategy into a competitive differentiator in your industry, I've written the full breakdown in the article linked below. It's worth reading. One honest caveat. Before I give you the conclusion, one honest caveat. The researchers themselves acknowledge that results may vary with different odors, different populations, different cultural contexts. This was a controlled lab study with university students. Real-world settings are messier, so treat the findings as a directional signal, not a formula. The principle that ambient odors unconsciously influence creative output and decision-making through direct limbic pathways is well supported across a substantial body of research. The specific effects in your specific context, those require your own observation, your own experimentation, which, frankly, is exactly the kind of experiment an entrepreneur should be running. Where to start? This week. You don't need a research budget to begin. This week, pay deliberate attention to the olfactory environment of your workspace. What does it smell like right now? Is that intentional? What cognitive state does it prime? And is that the state you want? Next week, introduce one specific scent to one specific context: a deep work session, a team brainstorm, a client meeting. Use it consistently. Note what changes. This month, if you have a physical customer experience, audit your scent strategy the same way you would audit your visual identity or your messaging. What is the ambient odor communicating? And to what parts of your customers' brains? Conclusion. Let me leave you with something. You know Mr. Spock from Star Trek, the half human, half Vulcan character who is pure logic, pure reason, zero emotion. He became a cultural symbol, the ideal of what a high performance mind looks like: rational, analytical, unemotional. For over a century, industrial civilization built school systems in the image of Mr. Spock. It trained us to value calculation over intuition, reproducibility over imagination, data over feeling. And it told us, implicitly, systematically, that the senses and emotions were noise to be filtered out of serious work. There's only one problem with that model. AI is Mr. Spock. AI is pure logic, pure pattern recognition, pure rational processing at a speed and scale no human will ever reach. Everything the industrial school system rewarded in you, a machine does it better. But here's what Dewari and Sakai just demonstrated in their lab in Tohoku, what the best designers, perfumers, and experience architects have always known. The senses are not decoration, they are cognition. Emotion is not noise, it is intelligence. The brain that smells a strawberry and is pulled toward warmth and creativity before it has consciously registered anything, that brain is doing something no algorithm can replicate. It is making meaning from embodied, sensory, emotional experience. That is the cognitive territory where humans still hold an absolute advantage. And it is the territory that 150 years of industrial education trained us to abandon. The Tohoku study is a small experiment about paint and strawberries, but what it points to is civilization scale. In a world where AI handles everything rational, the humans who understand that perception is intelligence, that the senses are tools of thought, that smell can redirect creativity before the conscious mind has woken up, those will be the humans who create what machines cannot. Your nose has been smarter than your MBA this whole time. You just weren't listening. Start now.